What's happening, folks of the interwebs? It's Pete with BackDraft Bikes, and today we're going to do another review on an Apple CarPlay device for your motorcycles. And this one's different. Stick around. So you may have seen a few of my videos. I advertised an Apple CarPlay on-screen device for my GS, but I also have reviewed the Nav 4 and also the Garmin just to kind of see what's best. So my son has a Triumph Speed Triple, and he really doesn't have any place that he could mount a device because of the fact that there is no windscreen or anything on the bike. I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? And I found a solution. We're going to try it and see what it looks like. This is the one Car Stereo Motorcycle Intelligent Car Machine. This is on Amazon. We're going to show you the link in the description. A very reasonable, affordable choice. And it's doing the same thing a lot of the other units are doing, and I'll just show you one of the ones in comparison. I reviewed the Carpuride one, but this one's huge. The problem with the Speed Triple is there isn't a big windshield dashboard area to mount anything. You're literally looking at bars and the gauges. So if you put a big huge screen on the bars, you're going to actually block the dashboard. So we can't do that. And that's what got me excited about this option. So if you look at this, it mounts with a ball, a ram mount type connector. And if you look at this screen, it's just over 3 inches tall. And it's about 6.5 inches wide. So if my calculations are correct, this will end up being perfect for this bike because of the size. So let's get this mounted up. I'm just going to fab it up and connect temporary power to it to see how it works, and we'll go over the features and go from there. Here's what's in the box. There is a remote control with quick access buttons, which is kind of cool. The reason why I say it's kind of cool is because a lot of motorcycles have a setup like this where you've got quick access buttons for fast forward, reverse, all those things. So that's handy if you're driving and you don't want to fiddle with a touch screen. This also comes with a little clip for the handlebars so you can mount it almost like thumb style. There is another clamp here, which is the first set of your ball end, and this uses an Allen wrench to secure it. So this is a very good option. I use these mounts a lot when I mount cameras to my bikes, and there's two different styles. There's one that has a big lever on it, and there's one that uses the Allen wrench. I like this one because it will be harder for somebody to steal the device off your bike because it's bolted firm to it. And that also goes for the ram mount section of this. This is the piece that you're going to put your balls in, and you tighten it down. And this actually has, again, pretty clever, a tamper-proof Torx bit. So this is not something somebody can just easily take off the bike. And this is actually metal. It looks like it's billet aluminum. There's a power cable. I like the connector on this power cable. It has almost like a GPS fish finder type connector that's waterproof. And this wire is that nice silicone coated wire. So it's not the PVC garbage that's gonna rub and break into everything. A couple adjustment knobs with a little wrench, some lock washers, and everybody needs some cable ties, which I'll probably need way more of those. So let's get this thing on the bike, see how it works. Kind of got a little bit of a construction site going on here, so I apologize. Let's take this cheesy phone mount thing off that's made completely of plastic. I already see a little bit of an issue with this because Triumph uses this clamp for their bars, and I really want this device to be mounted right in the center. So I'm just gonna have to make a little modification to the bars. Because ideally, I want this to mount right here, like this, as low profile as I possibly can. I'm gonna try mounting this off to the center like this, and then you can see this piece is gonna go here, and I'm actually gonna mount the screw facing towards me. That way it doesn't collect water as easy. And I think that's gonna be a winner right here. So for this bike, and every bike's going to be a little different, but what we're trying to do with this bike is get this as close to center line as possible. And if I wanted to get really wild on this whole situation, I could actually machine something to fit into one of these bolts or even the top stem right here, there's ram mount makes a few pieces that actually fit into that very easily. So, but this is nice right here. Ah, very cool. Very cool. When all else fails, consult the owner's manual, right? This bike, I don't believe, has factory TPMS. These are not for mounting. Do you know what these are? These are TPMS sensors. What? So this device actually does onboard TPMS. That is worth the price of admission. You know, the factory option on my BMW for TPMS is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $750. So this is crazy. This actually comes with TPMS, and these are valve caps. The way these work is they go on the valve stem, and there's a brass nut that acts as a lock nut that you put on first, and then you just cinch them together. Pretty awesome. Battery on this bike is super easy to get to. I was gonna fab this up with like a temporary 12-volt power supply just because I'm not sure how I want to run the wires on this yet, and my son actually really wanted to be part of this installation, so I'm not going to shortcut him that. It's good for him to learn how to do these things, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect this up temporarily so we can get a look at what this looks like, and then we'll fix the wires later. So this unit comes with a ground, constant power, and ignition. So obviously you want that because if you left this on all the time, it would kill your battery. Most bikes have a small fuse box like this one does, and you can see it uses the mini bus fuses. To find which one handles ignition, it's very easy. You can take a test light and just probe the tops of these terminals to see which one has power. Triumph makes it a little easier because they actually have fuse number 3 is a 10 amp, and it shows a key, which means that's ignition, which is awesome. An awesome way to get this to work in most bikes. See, I could tap into something and make it happen, but I have one of these devices here, and I highly recommend using these. And basically what you do is you unplug the fuse, and this plugs in. This plugs into the fuse box. You put your original 10 amp fuse back in this, and you put another fuse on the other side for whatever you want to rate this for. Now, we're going to use this when we permanently install this on the bike. I just wanted to show you that's a little hack that works pretty well. Make sure that you use automotive, or actually I would say marine grade heat shrink on all of these connections right here, because if you don't, you'll get moisture in it and it will prove to be a problem later. But for the time being, what we're going to do is we're just going to hook the strip to the battery, see how it goes. Okay, I've got that hooked up to the battery, and what we're going to do is connect this to the power. And again, on this unit, there's 2 different plugs. It's pretty self-explanatory. This one has a 1/4 inch like headphone jack, and that goes to that handlebar switch. We're not going to use that right now. This one is your power switch. There's a little notch, and I should get power right away, and I do. I have it. Wow, that thing boots up super fast. Faster than, never mind. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I even have the screen protector on this, but the resolution on this is really fantastic. Like, that's impressive. So this must be like your home screen. We've got your TPMS right here, and it even gives you temperature, which is pretty cool. You could select Fahrenheit and PSI or bar and Celsius. That's pretty awesome. Very responsive touch screen, by the way. And you can turn it off just by pressing a lock button. Now, CarPlay, I'm gonna have to pair this with my phone, which is super easy. So Bluetooth settings on my iPhone. I'm gonna come in here, CarPlay. It's gonna ask me to link it. It's already found it down here. So we're just gonna hit that, pair. And it looks like it's connected, so we'll just go back. There it is. Wow. This is fantastic. So this is extremely responsive, by the way. In fact, I hate to say this, but I think this is more responsive and the resolution is actually better than the other ones I've demoed. It has all of my Bluetooth apps right in here. It still has the home screen, which gives you your GPS, a search feature that will use Siri, and then the touchscreen area for if you want to listen to music. Waze works on this, which is awesome. I've talked about Waze before, but I like Waze for navigation because it tells you where all the hazards are, especially if there's debris in the road and somebody reported it. It's life-saving. Now, the integration with the other switch. So this has this other wire that I can plug in hand controls to. On a bike like this, I would probably put it over on the left side because you're not going to be using your throttle. And I would think about mounting it kind of in the corner there, something like this. And that will give me quick access to everything. But is this really needed with CarPlay? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I just want to try one more thing. Will this work with a glove? And the answer is yes, it works. Awesome. All right, with me sitting on the bike, I'm gonna have to tweak this position just a little bit and figure out exactly how I want to mount this. But it's pretty flexible in my mounting options, and I think I'm gonna go something just like that. And I'll tell you, this is the perfect size. It's really like a iPhone Pro Max, like the big one. It's almost exactly the same size turned sideways. So it's not super huge, but it allows me to be able to see the screen perfectly. I can see my dashboard perfectly. It's really quick access for being able to essentially use my online navigation that I want. And it's bright. I mean, this is a bright thing. I've got my super duper high profile production light going right now, and it's shining right on this screen and I can see it just fine. Now I have the foil still on this from shipping, but I am gonna pull this off and I bet you the screen will be even better. I'll probably end up buying a custom fit screen protector trimmed to size like I did for my Garmin, just because, you know, dirt and junk gets on things. All in all, this is an awesome product. Everything is weather tight and really well constructed. I am happy with this. If you go on my Amazon affiliate link down in the description, it'll save you a few dollars and it helps us keep our channel going. It doesn't cost you anything at all. Like I said, it even might save you a little bit of change. But I'd love to know your thoughts. I've done quite a few of these reviews now, trying to find the best one, and I think I found a keeper here for size and profile size and cost and just workability. This thing works, and it works with Android Auto as well, and it works if you don't have anything at all. It'll work on its own as well. Thanks for joining me again on the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you've tried one of these, what you think. Technology's come a long way. It's no longer the TomTom that we grew up on, right? As always, ride safe.